I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know, let's blame Bill Gates. So welcome to this series of videos in which we're going to teach you how to make a classic retro game called Atari Breakout. Now, the best way to show you Atari Breakout working is a little secret hidden Easter egg in Google, which looks a little bit like this. We're going to go to Google right now, and I'm going to Google the words Atari Breakout. And when we click on images, something very special is going to happen. Just watch. And at this point, it's all supposed to collapse and go smaller. We're supposed to play the game, and it's... What? It used to work. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know, let's blame Bill Gates. No, let's not blame Bill Gates. Bill Gates, oh God. Poor old Bill, he gets the blame for everything, doesn't he? Things don't work, coronavirus comes around the world, it's all Bill's fault, global warming. Probably the fault for breaking up with my last girlfriend. It was probably Bill's fault as well. Actually, for legal reasons, I just want to point out that Holly Willoughby, Holly Willoughby isn't my ex-girlfriend. That's just not true. Yeah, she tried and honestly rang me all the time. It was too much. I said, no, Holly, it's not happening. Holly's, if you don't know, if you're not British, you have no idea what I'm talking about, which is normal. But yeah, Holly Willoughby, she's kind of like on television, blonde, not the sharpest, kind of a bit like a sort of younger female Donald Trump. But, you know, nice. No, oh God, if you're Donald Trump supporter, I've alienated that now. So, yeah, I'm sure Donald's lovely. He's just, you know, in his own way, you know, in mad, despotic way. Anyway, look, I've got an idea. Hold the phone. Let's go and find this another way. So it turns out, if you do a bit of Googling, let's wind this back a little bit here, you actually can find a video of somebody searching for Atari Breakout like I did. And if we make that a bit bigger, let's do that and we'll run it. We'll show you what was supposed to happen. And then Bill Gates went and got rid of it. It wasn't Bill, I've no idea who got rid of it. By the Bill Gates, I think, is a lovely man, doing lots of good for the world. That's what's supposed to happen. It's the game. This is the game we're going to build. And we're going to make it better because we're going to make the ball physics work. On that bat, it doesn't always work quite correctly. Sometimes it hits it in the middle of the bat and then goes off at an angle. So, what's that about? Where it hits the right of the bat and goes off left. Now it's doing it perfectly, which doesn't help. But there we go. It never worked properly. So we're going to make a proper version of this. And I better start whittering on about Bill Gates and Holly Willoughby. So let's go and do this in Scratch.
Later that night.
In these videos, I'm not going to show you how to do something in Scratch. Well, ironically being, I'm actually going to do it in the first video. I'm going to set you tasks to do. But to set this up, one thing I want to do is I just want to get a black background to make the paddle or the bat that sits on the bottom. In the next video, I'm going to set you a task to move that paddle with the mouse. I'm not going to show you how to do it. However, if you can't work it out, there'll be a video at the end to show you how to do it. But this very first one is more like what you're used to on YouTube. Somebody shows you building a game and you copy them. Not the best way of learning, but we're going to do it for this one. So we're going to keep it nice and short. First up, you will notice in the top right here where I'm moving my mouse, there's a cat. Now in Breakout, there's no cat. So we've got a bat. This is not an English rhyming lesson. Bat, cat. I've got to take that to primary school. Or junior school, or whatever you call schools, wherever you are in the world. But there's no cats. So down here, this annoys me. Sprite 1, why did you call it cat? You could have written the word cat in there. If you had written the word cat in there, it would have said cat down there, rather than Sprite 1. It's a cat. I don't want it. Get rid of it. There's a bin there. Click, it's gone. Now, all I'm left here is, you're thinking there's nothing there. Well, actually there is. It's what we call the backdrop, or perhaps over here, the stage. And what I'd like to do is I would like to change that stage to being all black. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. Down the bottom here, we've got this icon that says choose a backdrop. And you've got 4 icons that have popped up. I can upload a backdrop, We won't do that now, but you'll get the hang of it when you know more about Scratch. We can do a surprise background. I will click. I've got I don't know what that is. It looks some sort of like chalkboard hidden behind some curtains, like the Queen's going to open it. She'd be in for a surprise if she did. Look, the Queen opens it up, and what's on the board? Nothing. What a waste of time. She'd throw a hat on the floor and stomp off. Don't want that. So we're going to show you how you can make a different backdrop. See, down here, it's always a surprise one. You can paint one yourself, and when you open it up, it looks a bit like, well, Paint, Microsoft Paint. You might not even know what that is. It's like, you do Paint 3D now and all sorts of stuff. But all I'm going to do, and this one thing that does annoy me, I want to fill this black. There's a paint bucket there. Surely if I choose black as my colour, and take that right down, and then click, 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 why won't it fill with a paint bucket? Scratch 2 used to. This one doesn't. Really annoys me. What I've got to do is I've got two options. I can either take a brush, make the brush absolutely enormous, like 100 pixels. No, there's a size, what if it be 1,000 pixels? No. Well, not the biggest brush you can have. Let's try 2. Oh, it's going to take ages doing this, isn't it? But you get the idea. You can just go brush, brush. And if you go over the edge, you will notice that it kind of sort of ignores the bit around the edge there. That's one way of doing it. Or, if we press Ctrl-Z to undo, I could have used that button to undo there as well. I could just draw a square and say, I'm going to have a black square with a black outline. And then I'm just going to draw it sort of off the edge a little bit. And look, ba-ding, black background. Pretty fancy, huh? You'll notice over here, I've still got my Queen's chalkboard thing. Don't want that, so I'm just going to make that go away. And this is the plain white one to start with. Don't want that one, so I'll make that one go away. One plain black background. I could, oops, clicked on that. I didn't mean to do that, but it worked actually, funny enough. I could look in the library. Not very good ones in here, but if you want play Breakout on the Moon, that might work. There's one for stars, which looks like it's all black, but actually when you click on it, there's actually some starry backgrounds. Look. By the way, all I did was I just click there. It's the same as actually, weirdly, clicking on that one. It takes you to the same place. Weird. Don't want to leave Scratch. But stay here, otherwise the video is going to be rubbish. And I go, oh no, I made it go away. So, don't want the starry background. I like plain black. And what we're now going to do is we're going to draw a paddle. So, this is the backdrop. We don't really want a backdrop. What we wanted, well, we want this one here, create a sprite. So, backdrop, next to it, sprite. And again, you can upload a sprite, which you'll work out for yourselves. You can have a surprise sprite when we will go, what have we got? We've got a key. Why? I don't know. Just a surprise one, wasn't it? I can paint one, and this is where we're going, and this is the most important lesson of all. So if you switched off already, pay attention. Seriously, stop. Now you've got to focus on this bit, because 99 times out of, well, that's a bit high, maybe 90 times out of 100, when I teach kids this, and graphics don't interact correctly, I go, did you draw it over the crosshairs? And they go, what? And I go, no, you didn't, did you? And I open up their graphic, oh, look, it's not over the crosshairs. What do I mean by the crosshairs? See that? Like a little sniper rifle in Call of Duty. Let's do no outline. Let's do a fill colour. Let's make it blue. Which is going to be interesting because we've got blue there. That'll work. Lovely blue colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a square. Going to draw a square. And I'm deliberately not going to put it on the crosshairs. There it is. That's my paddle to go in the bottom of my game. There it is. Look, a bit big. We'll worry about that later. But here's the important bit. And I'm going to zoom in here. See, there's a cross there. That cross must be smack bang over the middle of that. And when you move it, it snaps to it. It kind of like snaps to it. Those two must be lined up together. If they're not lined up together, you get all sorts of problems in your game. So that's it for this video. All I want you to do is choose your backdrop. If you don't want all black, have something else. I do want you to make a nice coloured paddle. Don't worry about the size of it. We'll sort that out shortly. But do worry about the colour. Black paddle on a black background? Why would you do that? Unless you want to make the game really hard. That might be an idea. I never thought of that. Anyway, paddle, background, go to work.